What's up everyone, I'm CallumOnToast, and in today's video I'm going to be showcasing some insane battles in the Open Great League featuring a Godzilla vs Kong theme team, which is something that I've been wanting to do for absolutely ages, with the newly released Rillaboom as Kong, Shadow Tyranitar as Godzilla, and one of the most difficult to obtain Great League Pokemon, Volcarona, as Mothra. Now this was definitely the hardest team I've tried to use so far this season. I think Rillaboom, with its current moveset, is one of the worst Pokemon that I've used for quite a while. Razor Leaf of course got nerfed, and it's just so slow to get to those charge moves, and it's completely walled by flying types, especially Mandibuzz, which is pretty common this season. But despite all of that, I was able to pick up some of my craziest wins of the season with this team. So with that being said, let's just get into the question of the day. What is your favourite Monsterverse Titan, and which Pokemon would you say most closely resembles it? I may use these ideas for a future video or live stream, so please let me know in the comment section down below. And with that being said, let's get into the battles now. As we go into the first battle, we're going to lead Rillaboom into Clodsire, so obviously not a great matchup for us, and honestly my entire team doesn't really want to see Clodsire, which isn't ideal considering Clodsire is the most common Pokemon this season, but they are running Stone Edge, not Sludge Bomb, so I'm able to hang on. I'm trying to make it to an Earth Power. The opponent tries to catch the Earth Power onto their Jump Bluff, which is a very smart play, but I am just barely able to react in time, swapping into my Shadow Tyranitar, going to shield up the Energy Ball. At this point, I'm not going to take any risk. I'm full sending the Stone Edge here. Stone Edge is going to connect. It gets the one shot up against the Jump Bluff, and let's see, the opponent's going to come back in with the Clodsire. They will make it to a charge move. At this point, just going to let the Tyranitar go down. The opponent full sends the Earthquake there. We are going to come in with the Volcarona, as of course Rillaboom is very low in HP. Going to come in with the Volcarona. We've seen already they are running Stone Edge, so I will have to respect this. This would be double super effective damage up against the Fire and Bug typing. Going to use my final shield, and they come in with a Shadow for Alligator. Now I realize they are at 3 Shadow Claws already, so you're going to go for 1 extra Fire Spin, then swap and make a CMP tie sack swap there, swapping out and also getting off the charge move, winning CMP and forcing the opponent to be stuck in their own charge move here. So Hydro Cannon gets a KO. We are now going to just barely be able to outpace them to the Bug Buzz, and it just depends, can we Fire Spin, farm down the Clodsire before they make it to another Stone Edge? Yes, we are just barely able to do so, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to opponent there. Into the next battle, we're going to see Rillaboom into Ariados, so definitely not great for us. Going to say swap into my Shadow Tyranitar, and the opponent's going to respond with a Shadow for Alligator. Now, of course, the Smackdown damage was nerfed this season, but we are still chunking in this matchup. So in the 2-shield scenario, I will just be able to double shield and fully fast move farm them down, and since we are resisting the Shadow Claw damage, I'll actually come out with a significant health advantage as well. But either way, the opponent's actually going to slightly over farm, so we're going to make it to back-to-back Brutal Swings before they make it to back-to-back Hydro Cannons. I'm thinking, do I really want to fight hard for Switch? Yes, I absolutely do. Gonna shield that up, and they come in with a Shadow Ursaring, so I'm actually still able to make it to another Brutal Swing up against the Ursaring. Brutal Swing gets the KO. We can now swap into Volcarona, and this game is over. We will resist both a lunge or a Trailblaze. They go for the lunge there, debuffing my attack, but it doesn't matter. The opponent recognizing there's nothing they can do, so they just concede the match. So GG's to opponent there. Into the next battle, you can see Mandibuzz in the lead, so obviously this is not a good matchup for us, and even worse, they're running Air Slash as the fast move, so because we swap out there, we are 1 turn behind. They're actually able to outpace me to the Aerial Ace. Gonna use my shield and then overfarm as much as possible, but we get sniped with a Waterfall Empoleon. Oh my gosh, that really sucks, because I was actually just going to go for the overheat, I think, 1 before, but then I decided, you know what, might as well overfarm as much as possible, get as much Fire Spin damage whilst we're not debuffed in our attack as possible. And that backfires massively as they get the snipe there. We can come in, Razor Leaf farm them down, but we are down 2 shields, and whilst Tyranitar has a very good matchup up against the Mandibuzz, it kind of just depends what they've got in the back. Of course, we got no shields remaining, doesn't really matter. We wouldn't shield a Dark Pulse anyways, but they've got a Bastiodon, and yeah, unfortunately, there's just no way we win this game unless I'm able to grab both shields from these Brutal Swings and then somehow land the Earth Power and also take out the Mandibuzz. But yeah, that's just not going to happen, unfortunately. Brutal Swing number 2 goes unshielded. We do have the Earth Power loaded, and for science reasons, I kind of want to see this land. But the opponent's shields anyways, they've got a Flamethrower loaded, so of course, they're going to play it safe, fire off the Flamethrower. Flamethrower takes out the Rillaboom, and unfortunately, we do lose that game. But GG's to opponent there into the next battle. I think this is the only battle where I had the Tyranitar in the lead. This was one of my first battles I did with the team before switching it up. But anyways, unfortunately not a very good lead matchup into Gastrodon. I will make it to a Brutal Swing though. I'm actually pretty happy the opponent did just go straight for a Body Slam there. We make it to the Brutal Swing. They do Mud Slap farm me down. Of course, we can come in with the Rillaboom, but we won't get the Razor Leaf farm down before they make it to another Body Slam. So definitely not ideal for us. They're now going to come in with a Serperior, and honestly, this just isn't great for us. I'm just going to No Shield. I don't want to swap into my Volcarona whilst they are ahead on energy. So instead, we take the energy on the Rillaboom and they come in with a Clodsire. Now, definitely not ideal for us. Again, if they're running Stone Edge, that's going to one-shot us. But in the 2-shield scenario, I'm going to double shield anyways. And they are running Stone Edge, so that's actually probably slightly better for us just because they do make it to their Sludge Bombs ever so slightly faster. Going to grab a shield with a Bug Buzz bait, and now I'm full sending the Overheat. I need the opponent to let this go through, and they do let it go through. We get the KO, and then I'm able to swap and catch an Aerial Ace onto my Rillaboom as well. Aerial Ace takes out my Rillaboom, and now we can just go for a full Fire Spin farm down. The opponent throws a last second charge move, should be fine, just going to shield this up. They're actually running Leaf Tornado though, and they debuff my attack, but I'm still able to get the Fire Spin farm down, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to opponent there into next battle. Gonna see a Shadow Gallade in the lead. So of course we are going to resist both the charge moves on my Volcarona. So I'm going to swap and maybe catch. I'm hoping to catch the Leaf Blade. It's the close combat, and despite being resisted, that does ridiculous damage there. But we do bait out a Shadow for Alligator, which is okay, I suppose, because now we can come back in with the Rillaboom. They actually don't even farm up to a potential Crunch or an Ice Beam, so gonna No Shield that, and we are gonna go for a perfect Razor Leaf farm down, which is very nice. They come back in with the Gallade. I can actually make it to a Grass Knot as well, which is very nice, because this will grab a shield from the Gallade, but unfortunately, Shadow Tyranitar, I don't think we will be able to go for a full Smackdown farm down. I think they're one away from the next charge move, and the opponent is going to bank that charge move. They come in with Gastrodon. Unfortunately, not a lot we can do here, so I do just concede the match. But GG's to opponent there into next battle because he Dunsparce in the lead, so we are definitely happy to sit here up against our Rillaboom as opposed to our Volcarona, where we're taking double super effective damage from these rollouts, but the opponent actually goes for Drill Run there. Very interesting, and they're going to do it again, so we can actually live that, make it to a Grass Knot, and if the opponent no-shields this, I will be able to win the zero shield scenario, which is very nice. They do come in with the Clodsire, they get the Poison Sting farm down, and that is definitely not ideal, but let's see what the opponent wants to do. They're going to fire off the charge. Again, we have to respect this. The opponent is going for Sludge Bomb this time around, but they actually swap into Mandibuzz, and that is huge for me. I bank the Overheat. I come in with my Tyranitar, and even though the Smackdowns are nerfed this season, I'm hoping I can still commit to a full Smackdown farm down, but Mandibuzz incredibly spammy here. They are just going straight Aerial Ace though, which is big for me because Dark Pulse would do more damage, and if this is a Dark Pulse, it might even get the KO, but it is just another Aerial Ace, which means I can go for the full Smackdown farm down. And these Poison Stings, they might have been buffed this season, but it's still resisted up against Tyranitar. I will be able to make it, hopefully, to 3 Brutal Swings up against this Clodsire. So, Brutal Swing number 2, grabs the first shield from the opponent, and we make it to another Brutal Swing. At this point, this will be game over. Brutal Swing grabs the final shield. We had the Overheat bank, so we can come in with the Volcarona. Overheat gets the KO up against the Clodsire, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to opponent there into next battle. You can see Medicham in the lead, which is a bit of a surprise, but anyway, he's going to stay in this matchup here, and the opponent's going to throw after 6. Previously, this could have been a nice punch, but of course, Counter's Energy Generation has been nerfed this season, so I knew that was just going to be a power-up punch, and I can make it to a Grass Knot. At this point, Grass Knot probably going to grab a shield. It does grab the shield there. I had to stay in just because, of course, I've got Shadow Tyranitar in the back, which will get absolutely shredded by Medicham. So we come in with the Volcarona, correctly shield up the boosted Psychic. We get the Fire Spin farm down, and the opponent's going to come in with a Lantern, so I'm going straight for Bug Buzz here, and then I will actually swap into my Shadow Tyranitar, because Tyranitar does at least deal neutral damage with those Smackdowns. They come in with the Shadow Victory Bell, and we do just barely make it to a Brutal Swing. Brutal Swing is going to grab the final shield from the Victory Bell, and unfortunately we don't get the Fire Spin farm down there. I needed that farm down. Unfortunately, even a double resisted Leaf Blade does too much damage there. They would have made it to a Surf, which is why I no shielded, but unfortunately we do lose that game. But GG's to up over there into next battle. Gonna see a Shadow alone and Sandslash in the lead. Gonna say swap into my Tyranitar once again, and we're met with Azumarill. So obviously not great for us, but definitely prefer to see it here than up against Volcarona, where everything is resisted. At least with Tyranitar, we can hit for huge damage with that Stone Edge. And if Smackdown hadn't been nerfed, honestly, I could have probably just farmed them down at this point, or I could have shielded once, and then I knew I would have got that farm down. But either way, gonna come in with the Rillaboom, get the Razor Leaf farm down, and we are going to swap straight away into Volcarona, landing one Fire Spin, dealing big damage, but unfortunately they've got Greninja in the back, and yes, we are a Bug-type Pokemon, but we're also Fire. We're very slow to make it to the charge moves. I was hoping I could live a Night Slash, but you can see my Volcarona IVs are not very good, and it's not exactly a bulky Pokemon anyways. We come in, we get the Razor Leaf farm down, and can we Razor Leaf farm down the Sandslash? No, unfortunately, that's not going to be able to happen here, so just going to no-shield. We still got both shields in play. Maybe could have shielded that in case the opponent went for, like, a double throw there for some reason. But either way, I still don't think I was going to win that game. So GG's to our opponent there. Into next battle, you can see Lantern in the lead. They're going to say swap into Clefable, and we're going to come in with the Volcarona. Now I'm going to no-shield this as the opponent goes to the Swift. Swift does like half of our health here, which means I'm going to have to shield this next one. And Swift is incredibly spammy, so this is actually nowhere near as good of a matchup as I thought it was going to be. I'm going to bait with a Bug Buzz, but Bug Buzz actually gets the KO there. They come back in, and it's actually a Water Gun Lantern, which is very interesting. I'm going to come in with the Rillaboom, and they've got a Shadow Drifblim in the back, so unfortunately for the opponent here, I am just hard countering them. I am the algorithm in this battle. Going to no-shield the Icy Wind there, go for the Smackdown farm down, firing off a Brutal Swing, and Brutal Swing doesn't really matter if it connects or not. The opponent is actually going to no-shield that, but this is certainly game over. We can come in with the Rillaboom, and I can probably live anything they throw here, even a Hydro Pump, so I'm actually going to no-shield. Surf actually does some decent damage there, but we get the Razor Leaf farm down, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to opponent there into next battle. Gonna see a Shadow Galarian Weezing in the lead, so definitely not ideal for us. Gonna say swap into my Volcarona. Honestly, should not use Volcarona as a say swap at all because there are so many water type Pokemon. At least with Tyranitar, like the most common one being for Alligator, you can actually flip that matchup potentially with a slight energy advantage or in the 2-shield scenario because you are resisting the Shadow Claw damage and dealing neutral damage with Smackdowns. But unfortunately, Volcarona cannot flip that unless the opponent just no-shields that first Bug Buzz. But anyways, gonna come in with the Rillaboom, get the Razor Leaf farm down. We are then going to swap straight away into the Shadow Tyranitar. They actually come in with a Shadow Drifblim once again. They come back in with the Galarian Weezing, and they do make it to a charge move. So I'm definitely going to shield this. The opponent goes for the Play Rough there, full sending it. We're now going to fire off a Brutal Swing here. Brutal Swing going to grab the final shield from the opponent. And can we go for a full Smackdown farm down here? It doesn't. I'm not sure, honestly. I think they might be a back-to-back charge move, so going to throw the Brutal Swing, and you can see they actually went for Fairy Wind there, so I think they were one off. If we actually went for the Smackdown farm down there, I think I would have won this game, but unfortunately, I think I've just thrown there. The opponent throws the charge move, Icy Wind gets the KO, Smackdown doesn't take out the Shadow Drifblim. They're able to Astonish, farm me down, and unfortunately I do lose that game. But GG's to opponent there. Into next battle, you can see Gastrodon in the lead, so they're going to say swap into Galarian Weezing. We're going to come in with the Volcarona, and again, it's a bit of an awkward matchup here. Of course, if they're running Overheat, then that would probably still one-shot us because we do take neutral damage from the fire typing as we are fire and bug. The opponent is going to go for Play Rough there, and Play Rough would have been resisted. So, unfortunately, I think I didn't really need to double shield there. But either way, going to maintain alignment. I'm basically just hoping for like Amanda Buzz or something in the back where Tyranitar, even down 2 shields, can still win this game. But we're going to go and fire off the Bug Bugs. Bug Bugs actually grabs a shield from the opponent. We come in with the Rillaboom, of course, no shields remaining. Razor Leaf should be able to farm them down here as they go for the Body Slam. And it is Amanda Buzz in the back, and they're also running Air Slash, meaning they're going to be slower to make it to the charge moves. So at this point, we're looking pretty good here. The opponent will be firing off a Dark Pulse. Dark Pulse does actually get us into the yellow health range, but it doesn't matter. We're going to farm up 2 back-to-back charge moves. I think they might be CMP tying us here with an Aerial Ace, but even Aerial Ace won't get the KO here. The opponent lets the Brutal Swing go through, and we're able to take that game. So GG's to opponent there, into next battle, because he Fracture in the lead. So this is a very spicy pick here, and honestly, I'm kind of just hoping that they don't boost with a Night Slash. The opponent is going to go for the Night Slash, and they do get the boost. Oh, that is very frustrating. I have to stay in there just because Volcarona also has a very bad matchup up against a Dragon-type Pokemon. So going to come in with the Tyranitar. They've already got me deep into the yellow health range. They're going to come in with a Bubble Jellicent, which is definitely not ideal here. If they're running Hex, then honestly, we'd be in an okay-ish position. They actually let the Brutal Swing go through, though. I need something incredibly weak to fire in the bag if I have any chance of winning this game. So let's see, the opponent's going to go and fire off the Surf. I should be able to go for a full fire spin farm down, but they've got Clodsire. So yeah, even if I land an overheat, honestly, this will not get the KO. But for science reasons, I want to throw, I want to see that damage, but the opponent shields anyways, of course. Going to play it safe, they had 2 shields. And a Stone Edge easily one-shots us, and unfortunately we do lose that game. But GG's to opponent there, Internet's battle. You can see Trevenant in the lead, so awful lead matchup for me. Get a safe swap into my Shadow Tyranitar, and they come in with a second grass type, which is very interesting. But we're going to go and fire off the Brutal Swing. Brutal Swing is going to grab a shield advantage, which is very nice. The opponent's going to commit to a full fast move farm down here, so I'm actually going to make it to Brutal Swing number 2 and grab both shields in this matchup, and that is absolutely huge for me. At this point, they've got so much energy, I might as well just fully sacrifice my Rillaboom. It's got no play up against the Trevenant or the Serperior. So just going to sponge this energy. Aerial Ace number 2 does take us out. We can now come in with the Volcarona. They're already at yet another Aerial Ace, which is definitely not ideal, but I'm going to shield this, go for the farm down. The opponent swaps back into Trevenant, and honestly, they did farm up a fair bit before swapping out. So they go for the Shadow Ball there, which means I can go for a full Fire Spin farm down, taking out the Trevenant, and they've got a Clodsire in the back. So usually this is an awful matchup for us in the Zero Shield scenario. Just a Stone Edge would get the one shot, but with such a huge energy advantage despite debuffing my attack just there. Overheat number 2 gets the KO. We can still Fire Spin, farm down Serperior, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to opponent there, Internet's battle, another Serperior in the lead. So we are actually just going to stay in this time around. I'm going to, actually no, Serperior wasn't in the lead the previous time, it was Trevenant, sorry. Either way, going to stay in here, we're going to let the first move go through, and then I'm actually going to swap and catch the next Aerial Ace onto my Shadow Tyranitar, which seems like a very strange decision there, but I felt like that probably was the right play. Either way, they're going to stay in, and we're actually able to make it to a Brutal Swing, which is very nice for us, as Brutal Swing is going to grab a shield, and it was CMP as well, so actually, not that bad for us at all. They go for the Frenzy Plant there. I'm hoping we can come in with the Volcarona and get the Fire Spin farm down before they make it to an Aerial Ace, and we are able to do so. They're both going to come in with a Lantern, which definitely is not ideal. I'm not going to fire off a Bug Buzz straight away. Instead, I was hoping the opponent would throw immediately, but then I realized Surf costs more energy, so they did actually throw straight away there, but it just took them 1 extra spark to get there. But either way, gonna fire off the Bug Buzz. We're going to drop their defense, but they've got Mana Buzz in the back, and that is very unfortunate, as my Tyranitar was sacrificed up against that Serperior. We're going to fire off a Grass Knot. We actually grab the shield there, though, and that is huge. The opponent doesn't commit to a farm down either. So at this point, Aerial Ace will get the KO. We're going to come back in with the Volcarona. Of course, I have to shield an Aerial Ace here, as Aerial Ace from this range would definitely get the KO. And we're going to overfarm as much as possible, throwing on the CMP tie. Overheat is coming through. It gets the KO up against the Mana Buzz, but this Lantern will outpace me to the charge move. And unfortunately, from this range, of course, Surf will be taking out the Volcarona, and we do lose that game. But GG's to opponent there, Internet's battle, going to see a Shadow Drifblim in the lead. So of course, I'm going to say swap into my Volcarona this time around, just because we can't really afford to swap into my Shadow Tyranitar there, as that is my hard answer. The opponent's going to go straight for an Ice Beam here. I'm hoping we can live this, and we do live that, which is great, because basically we force them to throw straight away, and as well, we will still get off big chip damage with the Overheat, and hopefully that puts them into range where we can come in with the Rillaboom and go for a full Razor Leaf farm down before they make it to the next Ice Beam, and we do exactly that. Now our Switch Shock is up, we can come in with a Tyranitar, but they've got Ferrothorn in the back, and this is unfortunate, but Brutal Swing is less energy this season, meaning we can actually spam these Brutal Swings slightly faster than we used to be able to do so. Not fast by any means, but still faster than previously, which means I can outpace them to the next Brutal Swing here. Gonna throw on the CMP tie. The opponent is going to no-shield that, and that's huge for me. So at this point, I'm gonna shield this. I think I might be able to smack down farm them down here. It's gonna be 4 to the next Power Whip, and we get that farm down. We come out with the charge move loaded. Gonna swap into my Rillaboom, and the opponent is continuing to overfarm. They allow me to make it to the charge move, and at this point, they have to no-shield because I've got a move on my Tyranitar, so the opponent lets that go through, but even resisted up against a Shadow Drifblim. Grass Knot gets the KO, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to opponent there, Internet's battle, gonna see King Kong versus Scar King here, up against the Oranguru. We are going to no-shield, they go for the Brutal Swing, I'm then gonna swap into my Shadow Tyranitar. They come in with the Shadow for Alligator, so unfortunately, they are very fast on that swap, so they do outpace me to that charge move. We're gonna shield up the Hydro Cannon, gonna go for 3 Smackdowns, then fire off the next Brutal Swing here, and if they shield this, I might actually double shield and go for a full Smackdown farm down. Yep, we're going to double shield here as we do have quite a lot of energy. Going to shoot up the Hydro Cannon, and we do get that Smackdown farm down, but they're going to come in with a Clodsire, and at this point, this is looking pretty tricky. All shields are down. We do, of course, still have 2 Pokemon in the back, but we are actually able to make it to another Brutal Swing, which is very big for me. Brutal Swing will maybe put them into range where we can Razor Leaf or Fire Spin farm them down, but then they just continue to overfarm. So this point, looking very tricky. They full send the Earthquake. It kind of just depends. If they're running the Stone Edge, then we just lose this. But we're going to come in with the Volcarona, and they do fire off the Charge Move straight away. Is it Stone Edge? Yes, it is. Unfortunately, that will take us out. We can come in, try to get a Razor Leaf farm down, but they come back in with the Arangaroo, get the Confusion farm down, and unfortunately we do lose that game. But GG's to opponent there into possibly the final battle of this video, once again leading into Serperior, and unfortunately we don't even get a Razor Leaf through as the opponent throws their Charge Move. But once again, I'm going to stay in here and then try and swap and make the catch onto my Shadow Tyranitar. Hopefully there is no Mandibuzz in the back this time around, because otherwise, yeah, we're kind of screwed. But they're going to come in with their Clodsire, and I am able to make it to a Brutal Swing before they make it to an Earthquake. So at this point, Brutal Swing will be no shielded. It doesn't do that much damage, but at this point we are still resisting the Poison Sting damage. We correctly shield up an Earthquake, which means they won't outpace me to their next Charge Move. I can fire off a second Brutal Swing, and Brutal Swing is going to be no shielded once again, so that's huge for me. Honestly, I would have preferred if they just let that go through, because now we can come in with either Pokemon, get the Fast Move farm down. They come in with Serperior. I'm going to swap into my Volcarona, and at this point, honestly, I kind of have to shield this as the opponent goes for the Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace would still do big damage up against us. We get the Fire Spin farm down. They come back in with Clodsire. They're trying to make it to a Charge Move, but they don't get there, and they've got a Dugong in the back. So this is pretty big for us. We are, of course, resisting the ice damage here. The opponent lets the Bug Buzz go through. I'm going to fire off another Bug Buzz here. I'm trying to fish for a debuff in their defense. Bug Buzz is shielded, and unfortunately it doesn't debuff their defense, but I'm thinking we can still Razor Leaf farm them down. They actually go for an Icy Wind, which is a mistake as that does not get the KO. We swap out, we get the Razor Leaf farm down, and I'm able to take that game. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, please make sure you leave a like, leave a comment letting me know, and as well, don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. And if you want to take your support even further, you can now become a channel member with perks including early access to new videos, shoutouts at the end of each video, custom loyalty badges, and custom emojis to use in the comments. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that has already become a channel member. Your support is greatly appreciated, and with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.